Hi, I'm Stephanie and this is Chef Julie, and we're joining you from our kitchen today with one of Chef Julie's recipes. You can actually find this recipe on her blog on our website, which is called the RD's Hot Dish. So Julie, what do you have for us today?
Today we're making chicken lettuce wraps, which are awesome. They're a trendy item, so we want to show you how to make it.
I was going to say lettuce wraps are definitely very in right now.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive right in.
Okay.
And we already have our pan nice and hot. We have a little bit of canola oil in there. Another good oil option for this type of recipe is sesame, if that's something that you have at home or want to try working with.
Okay.
So we're going to add that chopped ginger and garlic.
Okay, so it's ginger and garlic. So chopped ginger. I am not typically comfortable working with ginger just because I don't use it very often.
Sure.
Is this something that I could replace with like the ginger paste that comes in a tube that you find in our produce department?
You absolutely could. That's something that you could easily just use the same amount.
Okay.
But it's already chopped up and made into a paste, so it'll give the same flavor.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's right in our produce department at Festival, so you can easily purchase that.
Okay.
So now that we have that, it's getting a little bit brown, we're going to add in some shredded cabbage, and this is actually a coleslaw mix. So
okay,
it's
so
really
you
easy.
purchased it out of a bag to make it quicker.
Exactly.
But it's something, if you wanted to start from scratch, you could probably buy a full head of cabbage and chop it up if you wanted to.
Exactly, yep.
Okay.
So we're just going to let that kind of cook down a little bit.
All right.
It's one of those things that has a lot of water in it, so it's going to kind of condense down to be pretty small, which is nice. That way it'll kind of mix right into our chicken.
All right. And does that keep some of its texture? I mean, as it cooks down, it obviously gets a little bit softer, but I would imagine it still keeps a little bit of crunch.
Yeah, absolutely. It will, and it's kind of a fun way to add some more vegetables in, and
sure.
You know, maybe your kids won't typically eat vegetables, so this is a fun way to do that. So,
all right.
So we're going to mix in our ground chicken, and you
okay.
can actually use chicken breast, or you could use chicken thighs. Either way, you just want it to be ground.
Okay.
So
going back to the ground idea,
sure.
Could you probably swap in beef then for this type of a recipe as well?
You could. You
okay.
could use beef if you wanted to, yep. You're going to get the flavor from the sauce that we're going to use,
okay.
that Asian flavor, so either type of meat that you want to use is fine.
All right.
Yeah. So we're just going to let this cook down. It's probably going to take about 5 minutes. So the chicken's ready. It's all fully cooked. So what we can do is go ahead and add the sauce now.
Okay.
And the sauce is a mixture of hoisin sauce, soy sauce, and also honey. Okay. And then it has a little bit of rice wine vinegar in it as well. And those can all be found in the ethnic foods aisle at Festival Foods.
Okay, so I have to eat gluten-free. So when you said soy sauce, that piqued my ears up. I guess, right. Can we make this gluten-free?
We certainly can. The only thing that we would have to do is swap out the soy sauce.
Okay.
And they actually make a sauce called tamari that is gluten-free soy sauce.
Awesome. So that's an easy swap.
Right. So we have the sauce all incorporated. And the nice thing about this sauce is that we have that honey in there because that's going to cut through some of the saltiness of the other ingredients.
All right.
So it's a perfect mixture. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off and make sure it's all incorporated there. And then we're going to head over to our area here so that we can assemble our lettuce wraps. So
it smells so
doesn't
good.
It smell delicious? I really get the ginger.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to assemble our lettuce wraps, and we're using bib lettuce. And this, again, is something you can find in the produce area of our store. And it's a little bit more sturdy than iceberg lettuce, so it makes perfect for a little lettuce cup or a little lettuce wrap.
Sure.
So that's where you find it.
All right. And it comes in like a plastic carton versus just like a head of lettuce, right?
It does. You can get it in kind of the packaged produce area, but it also actually comes in kind of that open produce area
aisle. Okay.
Where the greens are, and it's in a head just like iceberg lettuce, but it's called bib lettuce.
Perfect. Okay.
So I have 3 all lined up here, and we are going to use brown rice to kind of be that little base of our lettuce wraps.
All right. So with the rice, you actually used brown rice that you cooked from scratch.
Yes, this is the brown rice, the long grain that's been cooked from scratch.
All right, so that took about 45 minutes?
Right.
All right, so one of my tricks personally is I love the steamer rice because you can get that in brown rice as well.
Absolutely.
And that's like 5 or 6 minutes and it's all set to go.
Yes, so that'd be perfect to use here. Or if you make rice once and then use it throughout the week, that's another way to use leftovers.
All right.
So either way.
That's a great idea.
So I just put a little scoop of rice in each lettuce wrap. And then we're going to go ahead and scoop some of the...
I use a small spoon.
Right, we'll use a small spoon here. We're going to spoon some of that chicken on there. We're just going to put that on each of these. And I want to get a little bit of that sauce in there too, and we're going to put a little bit more on at the end too, because we want to make sure we get all that good flavor. So there we have that. And then if you can see, I kind of have some sauce here at the bottom.
Right in the bottom, yeah.
Right, and I'm just going to drizzle that on there because it's going to get nice and soaked up in the rice too, so that'll create a lot more flavor.
So I think one of the things that I find interesting from the beginning to the end, that cabbage really cooked down.
It did, yeah, absolutely.
At first it looked like it could be overwhelming, but it's definitely not.
Right, so it's perfect, again, because you can kind of hide it in there if maybe your family doesn't like cabbage.
Right.
So, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to garnish it with a little bit of chopped green onion. And as you can see, it just kind of gives that extra little pop of color.
Yeah.
And it's going to give a little bit of a crunch too.
Yeah, this is you making us all look like gourmet chefs.
Right, exactly. And then the last thing we have are chopped cashews.
Okay.
So we're going to put that on top, and that kind of brings it all home. It has a little bit of that nutty flavor, and it's going to give a lot of crunch to the dish.
So you said these are chopped cashews, but could we swap some different nuts if that's what we had at home?
Yeah, if you have almonds or if you have peanuts at home, you could chop those and put those on there too.
All right.
And a little trick on the nuts to give a little more flavor is to toast them.
Okay.
So you can put them in a dry pan and just toast them a little bit to give that extra flavor.
Oh, this smells so good.
Wonderful.
I'm excited to eat it. We'll
So
set that
there
over
it
there.
is.
If you'd like this recipe or any other recipes that you've seen, you can visit our website at festfoods.com and click on the Health and Wellness tab. You'll find all of Julie's blogs there.
Back to you, and we're going to dig in.